Elon Musk runs six multi-billion-dollar companies simultaneously. People assume he has some secret, highly optimized calendar app keeping it all together. He doesn't. His actual method is much simpler. He manages his attention like an engineer manages a system. He ruthlessly separates the critical information, the signal, from the endless distraction, emotion, and mental clutter that makes up the noise. Over the next 5 minutes, we are going to apply this engineering principle to your life to identify and disable the specific triggers that fragment your attention. Before we start, I need you to gather your raw materials. Pick up your smartphone, open your calendar, and pull up your current to-do list. We are doing a real-time audit right now because your output doesn't depend on what is written on your schedule. It depends entirely on what you allow to access your mind. Step 1 is defining what actually matters. In engineering, this is called first principles thinking. It means taking the chaos of everything happening around you and melting it down to its most basic, undeniable truths. Look at your life right now and pick 1 or 2 core goals. Maybe it is building your business, raising your children, or getting into the best physical shape of your life. Those specific goals are your unique signal. Identify them, hold on to them, and recognize that any task, thought, or piece of information that does not serve them is pure noise. If you skip this step and fail to define your signal, you have no baseline. You cannot filter out the noise if you don't know what you are actually trying to listen for. Now that we have our baseline, let's target the first major source of interference: input noise. These are the endless news cycles and algorithmic alerts on your devices, specifically designed to manufacture outrage and steal your time. Take the smartphone you gathered earlier and open the Settings app. We are going to disable your digital triggers. Tap on the Notifications menu. Locate the toggles for every social media, news, and shopping app you have installed. Go down that list and switch them off. Cut the wire. Leave only text messages and phone calls fully active. You might feel a brief pang of anxiety doing this, but remember the rule. If it is not a human trying to reach you, it is a machine. Algorithms do not inform you, they condition you. Next, we address social noise and process noise. Social noise comes from people who complain and create mental friction. Process noise is the useless work about work, the endless email chains and spreadsheet formatting that clogs up your system without moving anything forward. Open the calendar you pulled up earlier. Look closely at your scheduled blocks for the next 3 days and scan for process noise. If you see a meeting, call, or coffee date lacking a specific, predefined output, cancel it or ask for a clear agenda. This high standard ensures that every minute you spend on a call has a measurable return on your goals. When you filter out the chaos of unnecessary meetings, you reduce the mental drag on your system. This allows you to produce higher quality, more deliberate work. This brings us to a strict engineering rule used at SpaceX. One of the biggest organizational mistakes you can make is automating or optimizing a process that shouldn't exist in the first place. Look at the to-do list in front of you. Read through the items and identify the tasks that do not push your signal forward. Look for the tasks that represent mere maintenance for a life or a goal you no longer actually want. Take 50% of those maintenance items and delete them entirely. Do not archive them for later. Cross them off permanently. Most people live in a state of constant exhaustion. This happens not because they are doing too much actual work, but because they are spending enormous energy protecting and managing too much noise. Eliminating these tasks provides the bandwidth your primary signal needs to move forward without friction. You need to be prepared for what happens next. When you aggressively cut out the notifications, the meetings, and the busy work, the sudden silence in your life will initially feel terrifying. This is exactly the environment that visionary thinkers try to cultivate. They intentionally block out the noise of analysts and expectations, prioritizing long, isolated walks and dedicated think weeks to create physical and mental space. You will feel bored. That is a good thing. Boredom is a functional filter. It catches the static and distraction, allowing your complex problem-solving skills and intuition to finally surface. It is the only medium through which your true signal can travel. Let's review your new baseline. You now have a phone that no longer pings on command, a calendar free of empty meetings, a task list cut entirely in half, and 1 or 2 locked-in goals. Here is your final challenge. For the next 24 hours, commit to a strict signal-only diet to test this new operating system. If you must engage socially during this window, apply a strict filter to your conversations. You are only allowed to discuss ideas. You are not allowed to discuss other people. Success depends on your ability to defend the space you have just cleared. Embrace the quiet and let your signal through.